May Higante sa Aming Bahay. Story by Randy Garlitos. Illustrations by Ferdinand Guevara. The giant is coming to our house, Nanay restlessly said while waiting by the door. Even my sister, Ate Linggit, and my brother, Kuya Utoy, were all smiles, their faces full of joy. But I felt nervous. My hands were clammy. Why did the giant have to come and live with us? Our very small house will get even smaller. The giant arrived at our house that afternoon. He was carrying his big bag and lots of boxes. "I'm here," he bellowed, in a voice like a carabou's. "Naku! He's here," Nanay said, followed by my sister and brother who couldn't wait any longer. I could hear him walk as he entered. His every step was heavy and dragging. Then the giant slumped on the sofa and hugged my ate and my kuya, while I hid at the back of the house, peeking through the window and watching. The giant opened the big boxes, which I thought were full of weapons and cannons. Instead, they were full of pasalubong. "This is for beautiful Linggit." The giant held a doll with a fabulous dress and a playhouse full of little furniture pieces. "This is for Utoy, who is very reckless." Then he brought out a big robot that could walk and talk. And where could my little one be? He looked at where I was hiding. I really wanted to grab the airplane he was holding. "Matmat, aren't you supposed to say thanks?" Nanay told me as she nudged me closer to the giant who wanted to hug me. "Thank you," was all I could say because of the tight embrace of the giant, as strong as a bear. After that, I quickly ran back to my mother. He looks like a ghost just touched him," laughed the giant, who sounded like a fat dog barking. But why was I really afraid of him? It wasn't because he's as tall as an electric post, or as wide as our cabinet. It wasn't because of his loud laughter, or his voice as deep as a cow's moo. I was afraid of him because this was the first time I saw him, and he looked bigger than in his pictures in our living room. Nanay said he came from abroad. He worked there for many years, and so I barely knew him. But don't you worry. Now you will often see him. He'll be with you here at home while I'm at work, and your sister and brother are at school. Naku! I'll be left alone with him. What will happen to the two of us? Won't he hurl me with all his might, or dribble me like a basketball, or throw me like a volleyball? Won't he cook me like adobo, or a fritada, or put me in a cage full of cockroaches and spiders? This is what giants usually do in the books and comics that I like to read. Mat, rise and shine, the giant greeted me as he shook my shoulders to wake me up. I haven't been with you for a long time, so let's take a stroll together. Will you go with me? I answered, yes, even if my heart was beating fast. He helped me take a bath, put on my clothes, and tie my shoelaces. As we walked, many people greeted the giant who slowly walked beside me. Why, Paring Lenny, where are you and your little one going? Asked Tito Arturo, who owns the big sari-sari store. Uy, how are you, Kuya Lenny? Where is my pasalubong? Tita Melly joked while roasting the rellenong bangus and barbecue she would sell later at night. I wondered why they were not afraid of him. This giant was really famous in our barangay. We took a stroll in the park, the Children's Museum, and the aquarium full of fish and octopuses. We went to the mall and ate hamburger and pizza. My fear of this tall companion slowly disappeared, especially when he smiled and said, I hope you're happy. And when I got tired, he placed me on top of his strong shoulders as we continued walking. It felt good to be on top. The fireworks looked better from where I sat. Finally, when I felt sleepy and started yawning, he made me lean my head against his broad tummy, and I felt his warm palm on my forehead. He gently caressed me until I started to dream that I was on an airplane peeking at the clouds. Now I know why Nanay, Ate Linggit, and Kuya Utoy feel very close to this giant in our house. He is a giant because of his thunderous laughter, because of the smiles he shares with others, because of the strength of his wide shoulders, and because of the touch of his gentle palms. And now, as we watch TV, I hope that this giant in our house will always stay beside me. My most beloved Tatay.